WTAJ Sports with Jacob Kaucher.
Well, good evening, everybody. We've seen one of the most dominant dynasties going on in the world of sports right here in our backyard. The top-ranked Penn State wrestling team is going after history tonight. The Nittany Lions have a chance to become just the third team ever to win 4 straight NCAA wrestling titles. They trail Minnesota by just a couple points, entering Ed Ruth's title bout at 184 pounds. The senior going to work on the single leg against Maryland's Jimmy Sheptock. He gets the takedown and the 2-0 lead. Then Ruth stalking Sheptock, shoots and scores another quick 2 points. Ruth going on to become Penn State's first ever 3-time national champ with his parents in the stands, the 7-2 decision.
It's a big thing, man. Feels good. To be able to say the only one who ever did it, but hopefully someone comes along and does it as well.
Penn State's other finalist is David Taylor at 165 pounds. He'd be going up against Oklahoma State's Bubba Caldwell. Taylor making quick work in the first minute of the match, picking up the 2-point takedown, and then he's got a lead and he's building on it. Another 2 points, another takedown. David Taylor goes on to win by a final of 6-0. Penn State with its 4th straight national championship. Here's head coach Cael Sanderson on the crucial points of this tournament.
Every point, every point, and it's the first day all the way to the, the last point scored tonight. That's what makes this tournament so much fun.
So much fun indeed. Taylor and Ruth are 2 of Penn State's All-Americans this year. They are joined by Nico Megaludis, finishing 3rd at 125. Zane Rutherford and Matt Brown both pick up 5th place in their weight classes. 6th-year senior Matt Brown, as well as 197-pounder Morgan McIntosh, also All-Americans, both coming in 7th place. Elsewhere in Nittany Nation, Penn State today wrapped up the first week of its spring football practices in the James Franklin era. The Nittany Lions' new head coach says he's taken some inspiration from that run of success Cael Sanderson's wrestlers have had in the recent years. You may have seen Franklin at a match or 2 in Rec Hall in the regular season, where he's studying Cael's coaching style as much as watching the wrestling.
I want to become good friends with him, and I think he'd be a really good colleague. And probably more than anything, I want to keep him on my good side because I'm afraid he might pick me up and slam me.
Oh, I don't know about that, James. I'd probably give Franklin at least 30 seconds or so before Cael would probably pin him if they did wrestle. As for football, where Franklin is the expert, he and the Nittany Lions have spring practice number 5 coming up on Monday. Meantime, the madness is definitely real in this year's NCAA men's basketball tournament. We've seen upsets aplenty everywhere, with few teams entering today looking better than Pitt. The Panthers scored 46 first-half points on Thursday, cruising in a win in their opener. Pitt getting top seed Florida today in Orlando. And hey, how about Mike Tomlin in the stands? Because, well, the standard is the standard. Things looking good in the first half for Pitt. Josh Newkirk, the long triple, doing some Saturday afternoon banking. Panthers up by 3. But here come the Gators. Just seconds left in the first half. Scotty Wilbekin beating the buzzer. Game high 21 for him. Florida up by 5 at the break. Then in the second half, off the turnover, the Gators are running. Will you get? Ooh, that was the big fella throwing down. Florida wins its 28th game in a row, 61-45, knocking out Pitt and advancing to the Sweet 16 for the 4th straight year. Just can't see that play. Oh, that's nasty. Don't forget, even if all your other brackets are busted, our WTAJ College Basketball Challenge is round by round. That is the good news. So we are all still most definitely in the hunt. If your picks for tomorrow's games aren't in yet, you better get moving fast. You still do have time, though, to get over to wearecentralpa.com and get in on the action. Speaking of NCAA hoops, we're talking the women's version back inside Nittany Nation. The Lady Lions held their final pre-tournament practice today at the Bryce Jordan Center. Penn State's the 3rd seed in the Stanford region in the West, playing Wichita State in tomorrow's opening round. The Lady Lions have had more than 2 weeks off now since the Big Ten tournament. Head coach Coquise Washington says she's noticed that her team is, well, just a little extra fresh heading into the big dance.
Our practices have certainly been very intense, and I think the time off, the rest was good for us because they got a chance to rejuvenate.
We spent a lot of time on defense. It's definitely been a focus for us. the best teams play, great defense, and that's something that we, have been working on.
Now, the good news for the Lady Lions is that they have won 9 of their last 10 NCAA tournament games played in Happy Valley. Tomorrow's tip-off against the Shockers is set for 12:30 in the afternoon. In the NHL, the Penguins are pushing toward their postseason and looking to get back on track a little bit. Pittsburgh's still comfortably atop the Metropolitan Division, but they have lost the overall lead in the East to Boston after dropping 3 of 4. The Pens hosting a Tampa Bay team they've beaten the last 8 times they've played. That sounds like some good medicine for that. Down 1 in the third, Sidney Crosby, the nice pass to Matt Niskanen on the power play. Evgeny Malkin slams home the rebound. That'll tie up the game, but this one would go to overtime. So in free hockey, it's Malkin over to James Neal, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the real deal. The top shelf goal gives the Penguins the 4-3 win. Pittsburgh will host Central leading St. Louis tomorrow. Well, they will be playing the Blues, not the music, of course. Just a little more than a week to baseball's opening day. Pirates facing former Bucco A.J. Burnett and the Phillies. In the first, Travis Snyder taking Burnett right back up the middle. That will plate Chris Dickerson to put the Pirates on the board. Former curve pitcher Stolmy Pimentel getting the start for Pittsburgh. He strikes out Ryan Howard swinging right there. The Pirates beat their cross-state rivals in sunny Bradenton 5-3. Beautiful weather as well in State College as Penn State men's lacrosse hosts Albany and the nation's top offense. The Nittany Lions, they can put up some points too. TJ Sanders on the nice feed, the sophomore with a couple goals in this game. But the Great Danes, well, they are barking on the attack. Lyle Thompson, he'd have 3 goals. His brother, he'd have 4. His cousin would add another 2. Number 18, Albany, uses a 6-goal third quarter to run past number 12, Penn State. 17-10, the final score there. Ben?
All right, Jacob, thank you very much, and we'll be back with a final check of weather with Steve.
Welcome.